all, thanks Economic Times for having me here. It's always pleasure to have Economic Times host such events across the country. I have been a part of the association from last 5 years. In fact, my journey, my hometown is Jammu, very close to Chandigarh. I'm based in Ahmedabad. I did my schooling from Army Public School, Kaluchak, went to Kota for preparation of IIT JEE, went to IIT BHU, had half Banaras in me. Then I traveled across 50 cities, last 5 years, stayed 3 to 4 months across the country to understand what education should look like. Being myself, being International Physics Math Olympiad gold medalist, serial entrepreneur, currently working in space of both AI and education from past 7 years. I will talk a brief first about the future of education, how the world is moving very fast. Then second, most importantly, my cutting edge AI, how it can be blended with education and what is happening across AI across the globe. Okay, how many of you have used ChatGPT? And how many of you think it's intelligent? So this is something which I have prepared for all of you as an educators. I have traveled across various countries as well. I have taken some case studies, how we can improve our education. Me, currently, I am one of the founders of Planto. We are basically building agentic AI for large enterprises like Jio, Tata, helping them implement AI at large scale. I had founded Coding Unit Coding Pro that is run by a team of 500 plus people. I run few universities as well where I sit as an independent director. So the thought process is to how blend education from schools to higher education and then eventually employment. See, currently one of the biggest challenges that we face as a country is how to upskill in masses. We have a huge workforce that can be taken globally as well, but how from school foundation we can inculcate certain values in the students. This is my journey. So the left photo is from Banaras. I at IIT BHU, we started an NGO where we used to teach in various slums with my co-founder. Last year we were featured in Forbes for our work across the globe. This is me and my co-founder Vikas. He's also an IIT BHU alumnus. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, two major things he gave to us: BrahMos, nuclear. That's how we are able to compete globally. So education, I believe, is very powerful if inculcated in every student. And schools, I want to give a shout out to all the schools. You need to clap for yourself that we are building the next India, which is global #1 country in upcoming years. So I will take one case study of Dubai. I have been to Dubai a couple of times. Dubai has access to infinite capital. So now what they try to do is try to create an ecosystem where talent across the globe is coming, and now they are building and diversifying their things because they know they have to move away from oil. So what I try to take from these case studies, what they are trying to build in their cities, which will be everlasting. This was one of the quotes given by my director at IIT BHU, Rajiv Sangal. He used to teach us humanitarian learning. He said, city A, water is free. City B, water is paid. In terms of GDP, employment, you will see city B better. But eventually, city A is the one which is much better because Global Happiness Index, that came from Nepal, it talked about sustainability. And that's what we as a school, as an education, we should strive for. We have to see our challenges in our country and how we, through education, are trying to solve it. We don't need to see it from, say, lens of America or Europe. We have to see it specifically from our Indian challenges, what are the challenges we are facing, and how we can solve our challenges and then help across the globe solve those challenges. And the same concept is mentioned in Rig Veda. If you'll talk about, they will also talk about purpose of this universe. This is almost 5,000 years old, and they will talk about a term called Rita. Again, it stands for cosmic order. So again, they are talking of sustainability, happiness, the same thing. So that has been there with us in terms of society. So now the way I see currently with coming up of AI, degrees and education, we need to redefine ourselves. We need to redefine ourselves in alignment what is required in this society. So where as an educational institution, the thought process, when a student goes from school to college to eventually either he becomes employable or he employs somebody else. That should be the thought process as an educational institution we should be having. And we should specifically, rather than focusing on traditional subjects, build an holistic approach to inculcate these values in a student. So this is again a case study which I took from Dubai. So the way they bifurcated the industries was into transportation, health, education, water, renewable energy, technology, and space. So the whole education system in school should be inculcating these part in a student. Eventually, he will be contributing to society in any of these value systems at the end of the day. So rather than thinking through the lens of physics, chemistry, maths, sociology, this is the way as an administrator you need to think about it. Now coming to cutting edge technologies, schools want to introduce something new. What will be there for next 10, 15 years? Few technologies that are across the globe will be for next 10, 15 years are blockchain, robotics, big data, IoT, AR, VR, metaverse, biotechnology, cybersecurity, nanotechnology, AI and machine learning. Some part of these you should at least inculcate in schools. I don't know to what extent, what complexity you can teach them. Probably for grade 5 to 6, it can be on an introductory level, a kind of inspiration for them. And probably grade 11, 12, we can have specializations as well. At the end, the thought process is to build capacity building through human resource. Historically, the people who have invested in human resource have grown as a country. If you see, America has grown primarily to the human resource they imported across the globe. So world's best talent comes to America, gets trained and builds for them. That's how they have been number one from past 20, 25 years. So human resource is something we have enough now. We need to train them in a right direction. Now I'll talk about my specialization, AI. Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, talks about AI will reshape the society. Larry Page says something very interesting. Cognitive ability is not limited to humans. I asked you guys one short question. Do you think is ChatGPT intelligent? Does it has a brain? To some extent, we can answer it yes. And currently, the whole world is working towards AGI, where we are able to completely replicate the working of a brain. That is where the whole world is racing. They are holding all these computing, all these energy, so they are able to replicate the brain what human does. Why this is important for us? Like 200 years back, we were able to tap electricity. So now electricity is plugged into everything. So suppose you need lights, you need fan, the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. In a similar way, the cognitive intelligence can be plugged into anything. Now this intelligence can be a smart car which drives on its own. This can be your aeroplane as well. This can be your classes where teachers are creating the PPTs on its own. So we will be able to leverage artificial intelligence at mass, and we should as humans be able to probably use it in a better way. Now, cognitive ability is not limited to humans, has been scientifically proven from past 200 years. I'll talk about one experiment, Young's double slit experiment, where an electron also has an cognitive ability. It understands whether the observer is observing it or not. So we have been having this thing, and probably in next 5 to 10 years, we will achieve 90% of humans' cognitive ability, the way industry is racing. So we have to work with it. There's no denying in that now. So the way human brain works, I just put one simple snapshot, and the way baby learns. Now artificial machines are trained in such way. And this thing is called agentic learning. That's where few companies are coming about. I don't know how many of you saw one recent episode of Arnav with a company called Apna. They created an anchor which can interact on Republic TV. So you will in upcoming years will have AI agents that will write codes, that will make PPTs, that will do telecalling on your behalf. Now we'll be leveraging them to do better. That's where the whole world is racing to. How do we prepare students for a future that is 15 years ahead? I'll tell you one more interesting story. My co-founder's daughter studies in Harvard. So he asked their teacher, like, you are in the mix of this amalgamation of every tech, how the future of employment will look like, say 10 or 15 years down the line. So he said, I don't know what the future will look like, but I know they will not have just one job. They will be having probably 3 to 4 jobs. So probably with their set of skills, probably they will be a designer in a day or probably a painter in the night. That's how the future of education 15 years down the line will look like. This is in matrice, cognitive, non-cognitive work, repetitive, non-repetitive work. Last 200 years, machines were just replacing the manual and repetitive work. With AI, cognitive and non-repetitive work will also be replaced. And on the left side, if I have shown the layers, most of the companies in India will be working on application layers, where we'll be building a lot of applications on AI. Recently, IT minister also said the same thing a couple of days back. This is a chart of number of AI companies that Y Combinator took, 325, and non-AI companies that they took. And if I talk about the sector, every sector AI is inculcated. So whether it be healthcare, financial, education, every sector, the company will be either an AI company or a non-AI company. By the way, Y Combinator is one of the largest, best company accelerator in the world. The companies like Grow, Razorpay, everybody has been a part of this cohort. So this is where your whole education will eventually move into. So how we do prepare for AI, coding, robotics, data science as a school? First thing, we have to stop in class 8th teaching just Excel for 4 months. I'll be very honest, that is 20 years old. I still see 80% of the schools on the name of computer teaching Excel, PowerPoint, Paint for 8 months. That is not for our country now. Microsoft have earned enough from us. We need to teach them AI, cyber security, data science, whatever best we can teach in every technology, and computer need to be a major subject. It is as equivalent as physics, chemistry, biology, sociology. In fact, more than that. India has moved from agrarian to service sector. We are a service economy. 80% of the jobs are in tech domain. You see even IITs, 90-95% people work in space of consulting, technology. So as a school, we need to make sure we are teaching. I'm asking you to at least say in grade 1 only start teaching it. But yes, by the time they reach to class 12th, they at least should be knowing some programming languages, understanding about AI, understanding about cyber security. That should be something inculcated in school itself. Okay, how we can bifurcate and how it can be aligned with NEP. Classes 1 to 5th kids are very small. So 1 and 2, I don't want you to introduce them coding. They should be introduced to something called pre-coding, where you have Lego kits, you have block-based building, you have logical approach. Classes 3 to 5, they can have an understanding through block-based learning, like Scratch is one of the open source software you are having. You have Blockly. Classes 6, now NEP talks about diversification, where you have AI, you have data science. Now CBSE has introduced 5 to 10 different skill courses. And 9 to 12, how you see NEP beautifully has aligned it with higher education. Earlier, if you scored well in PCM, you can get a good university. Now in various state boards, like I stay in Gujarat, so now GUJSAT, if you have scored well in computer, you can take best of the 3 subjects. So now computer will eventually benefit for higher education. So I'll quickly go to just last part. You need to start with small something, start investing in your infrastructure, train your teachers, take a feedback. And this is I'm concluding this with a Bloom taxonomy graph. The last part is one-on-one mentorship. With AI, now you can have a personalized learning and you can improve the whole ecosystem of your school. So LMS moved the conventional classroom to your mastery learning. And from mastery learning, you need to give a one-on-one personalized learning. And this is how the grade point of your average school will improve. B minus, B, or A minus. So you need to inculcate AI as a part of academics and AI as a part of process. That's all. Thank you.
A very good morning to all of you. Are we all happy to be here on a wonderful winter morning, Chandigarh? So I'm Pooja, and as written, I'm a senior engagement manager at Adobe, taking care of academic engagements across India specifically. Before you all jump to a conclusion that, hey, why a technologist is coming and talking about education, I would just like to say that I initially began my career as an educationist with Army Public Schools. And when our last August speaker was talking about APS Kalachak, we are very much servicing as a corporate that particular school. And it's an amazing school and one of the best in Jammu. So while we are talking about NEP 2020, and what do corporates like Adobe have to do with it, right? Is that question running across through your minds? Anyone? We can just raise our hands up. Is that question running across your mind? How do corporates help, and what do they have to do anything with NEP 2020? So NEP 2020, a marvelous educational policy that the government has brought with definitely which talks about holistic education, which talks about inclusion of ethical AI, artificial intelligence in the school ecosystem, and more sort of talks about how can we enable a school ecosystem which has all the right things for the students, ultimately shaping up the learning outcomes of the students. I think all of us today here would agree that NEP 2020 is not just a policy. It is garlanding the entire ecosystem, which begins from a school principal, the leadership, the teachers, and what is the end result? The end result is our students, who are our ultimate stakeholders. And I think any policy, what we have studied, as a company over the last few years, is that these government policies are amazing. But when it comes to implementation, at the grassroots level, where we really want to get changes happening on the grassroots level and see our students making the most of it, we have seen that that's where a certain gap lies. And that's where Adobe as a corporate and many other companies as well are now trying to put and synergize their efforts of whether we can mitigate those gaps and take it to the last mile. So just a quick question: how many of you have used Acrobat, Adobe Scanner? Many, just raise your hands. Photoshop, everyone knows Photoshop, right? Everyone. Amazing. So I would just introduce another amazing thing to all of you, is that yes, while these are our Creative Cloud Suite applications, which at some point of time, everyone in this room, I'm sure about it, have been using, is there's something which is called Adobe Express for Education. That's our ultimate app. And yes, you can take notes of it, that's our app that we use, and we give it to the schools. Now, Adobe runs, and I repeat, Adobe runs a completely fully funded program. It's a no-cost program that we give to all the K-12 schools in India. Not just private schools, we are working big time, since there are many government dignitaries here as well. We are working big time with a lot of state governments. We are working with mostly all the PM Shri Kendriya Vidyalayas. We are working with the state of Samaj Kalyan, the Department of Social and Tribal Welfare, Uttar Pradesh, where we are doing an outreach program of more than 55,000 students. And the program evolves around creativity for all. So NEP 2020, and since it's the topic of the day, it also talks about how we can, foster creativity among the students. Because when you foster, little bit things around, how can they not just be a digital consumer? Can we make them digital creators? And that's where Adobe has a program which is called the DCIS curriculum, which we fully fund for all the schools for grade 6 to 8. It's a certification program. And we also deep down do a lot of capacity building programs for the teachers. So as since all of you as educationists know that as per our government, 50 hours of CPD is compulsory for all the teachers. Do you agree with that? Right? Out of which 25 hours is what you take it from CBSE, and the remaining 25 hours internal under the core domain 1, 2, and 3. So we have a completely beautiful design course of under at least 7 hours of CPD sessions that Adobe offers, with topics around socio-emotional learning, how can creativity foster happy hours of learning with the students. So I think that's something that as educators today, you all should come and explore, since as I've already mentioned, it's a fully funded program for Adobe, and it's a school ecosystem that we are bringing. And I think that's something NEP talks about. To be precise, I've gone through NEP 2020 document pretty deep, and page number 57 talks about ethical AI, which, everyone has been talking about. So all the Adobe Express for Education app is a very, very controlled environment, right? With the PDPD Act coming forward, we do not take any data. The data privacy is very intact, right? All you need to do is federate your school ecosystem, with our licenses, and help teachers and students make the use of it. So I think the penultimate aim of all of us as educators, or whether we people on the other side, should be, yes, there's a policy in place, but what efforts and what consistent efforts are we doing to ensure the capacity building of the teachers are happening, ensuring that the students at the end of the day, after a 1-year cycle, or with certain timelines, what are they learning, what is the ultimate learning outcome, as students and teachers. So I think that's all I would like to summarize. I think as educators, as leadership, as principals, as director of schools, as the education officers, the government officers here, we should, you know, party together, we should collaborate together to ensure that the students make the most of it. And I think with that, if in case you are interested to have this program in your school, there's a QR code, I think, out there. You can scan that code, reach out to us, and we'll be happy, to support your school in becoming the digital next schools in terms of creating an ecosystem. I think that's about it. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to stand here in front of all of you. As educators, we are used to giving lectures, not to listen to them. 40 minutes just pass in the classrooms. So here we are, of course, to listen and, of course, to speak also. And it's very brave of you to leave all your schools this cold morning to reach over here to listen to what we have to say. So I would like to thank everyone that you took out time to come over here. I would like to start by congratulating the Eco Times for the Great India School Summit. At a time when the education systems across the world are being forced to rethink themselves, the platform that you've made by bringing the policymakers, the educators on the same platform is very, very important and a need of an hour. You've done this consistently and you've done this with depth. And I'm proud to say that I've been a part of this platform for the last decade or so. I've spoken at numerous summits in the past, which have been held by you in different parts of the country. India runs one of the largest school systems in the world. Over 250 million school-going kids, more than 1.5 million schools, and more than 9 million educators. No other country in the world works at this scale. But scale, the quality, don't always move in the same path. So when we look at the global benchmarks like PISA, the countries far smaller than our nation, the Finland for example, consistently perform strongly and are doing immensely well. So the question is, what are we not doing? What are we doing right? And what can we do better? It is not a lack of intelligence. We have trained educators who are the best in the world. It's not a lack of effort. And it's not a lack of understanding of how to teach kids. But we're a part of a system that is constantly transforming from rote learning to mastery. And we are still on that path. So if I can share a small example with you right now as well, a class 5 student can often solve a maths problem, but struggles to explain why this answer works. So the child has learned, but the child in many cases has not understood. So this isn't a teacher problem. Design is the issue. Talk about tech in education, just as you've seen the speakers just say as well. AI, smart classrooms. But let me be very clear, tech is not the change that we are seeing. It is not the transformation. If a smart board only replaces a whiteboard, nothing has changed. If AI helps to grade us faster, it makes sure that we work faster, it helps us in doing our work, but learning has not transformed at the same pace. So the tech matters only when it changes the way that we teach and learn. So when the educators such as yourselves can identify the learning gaps and respond in time, when the students learn by doing and not just by mugging up, and when the school leaders see that learning data in real time is not just a metric on a sheet. So here's one fact that should make us stop and think. As per WEF, the World Eco Forum and the Institute of the Future, Over 60 to 65% of the students, and I've shared this fact many times in the past as well. Over 60 to 65% of the children, which is nearly 2/3 of our kids, who are in primary school as of now, who are just about to enter the education system in this current year, who will graduate 15 to 16 years from now in the 2040s, will work in jobs that do not exist as of now. So just think about that. A student who has just entered the education system currently, who will graduate from K-12 schooling in the next 15 to 16 years, will live in a world that is entirely different from ours. 15 years in the past also, the world was entirely different. We did not have smartphones. Did not have, as one of the speakers also shared as well, chat GPT and AI at that time. So different jobs, different roles. Space-based management even, as Elon Musk also says. All of this will be mainstream. So this isn't science fiction. These are jobs that we are about to see very soon, and they are going to come fast. So the real question is not, are our students ready to give a pen and paper test? The real question is that, are they life ready? Because marks age fast, skills do not. So the NEP, of course, gives us the right direction, but the policies don't walk into the classrooms. The teachers do, students do. And I want to say this clearly. Over the years, I've had the wonderful chance to engage with the leadership of our national and state boards, CBSE, ICSE, of course it's called CISE now, NCRT, and of course numerous state boards as well. And these interactions have consistently shown me that they reflect a forward-looking mindset, openness to change, and a strong alignment with India's education system and the path that we wish to take. So the direction is right, the intent is strong. Our shared task now is execution at scale. The scale of this challenge demands that leadership extends well beyond the classrooms, and it's important to, of course, recognize in that regard the special guests that we have in front of us as well, the leaders who are transforming this region in their own shape and roles. So first of all, we have Miss Alba Smerigio, Deputy High Commissioner of the UK Embassy over here in Chandigarh, and we were honored to recently host you at our school function which took place last month, and we look forward to closely working with you and your team, and we are of course going to work on a green project as well, and we've spoken to your team about that as well. So it's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am. Miss Kalpana K, Project Director of the World Bank and also the Secretary for School Education. We value the wonderful work that you are doing, and we look forward to working with you in the future as well. Mr. Amit Dhaka, CEO of in West Punjab, and you've seen the tremendous work that he has been doing. Our region, and of course, Mohali, which is the epitome of business and entrepreneurship in the state, has been growing tremendously well. So we thank you for your work, and we also look forward to working with you in the future, sir. And Dr. Amarpal Singh, the chairman of Punjab School Education Board, we appreciate the wonderful work that you are doing for our schools in this state. And of course, the rest of the guests on the dais as well. So as we move on into the rest of the day, the upcoming panels that you'll see on stage are extremely relevant. They are not abstract conversations. This will shape Indian classrooms in the next few years. So I wish, and I've been past the slip, so I'm just going to end now. I wish all education leaders and the speakers meaningful discussions and great outcomes for the day. I want to leave you with one thought. If India is to lead the world in the next few decades, as we are on the path to. It won't be just because of the 1.4 billion or so of us, or just based on tech. It will be because our schools taught the future students and our future how to think and not what to think. So that responsibility sits with all of us. Thank you once again and have a great day.
Well, I'm not good at giving formal speeches, more of an extempore speaker. So, but today I have structured a speech so that the time is short, so I can convey what we are doing. So, first of all, respected dignitaries, education leaders, principals, teachers, industry partners, parents, and the most important, stakeholders. Can you tell me who is the most important stakeholder in the whole education system? Students, children. So the first thing when I took over the board, the first thing we started doing was, whenever a policy decision is to be taken, interaction with the children becomes the foremost, most important aspect of our decision making. Children are called during the meetings. Their feedback is taken along with the teachers, and we are also interacting with the parents. So that is the first positive step which I think the board took. Basically, following the thought and the philosophy of our great leader, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, education gives you wings to fly. So it doesn't give you physical wings. So what wings does it give? Freedom of the mind to think beyond boundaries, beyond horizon, for which the input is to be given at the classroom level for a very short period of time of our lifetime. It's the biggest school. Can you tell me which is the biggest school? Pardon? No. Earth is a school where you have come to learn, experience everything, beauty as well as ugliness, happiness as well as sorrow. So what does this school, within the school does? It gives you the capability to sail through those experiences. So when we make a policy, when we teach, that should be the primary thing in our mind, that we are just a classroom in the bigger school. And that classroom needs to make the child capable of handling whatever experience comes his way. Every person will have a different experience throughout his life. So the capability gives you chance to navigate through that experience. So for us at the board, education is not about marks, certificates, or degrees. So it is about giving the student confidence, capability, character, and the courage to face the future, which is always uncertain. Whatever you may plan, there's going to be a variable very big coming your way. Today, I would like to briefly show you Punjab is reshaping education in alignment with Punjab's and national priorities. And the theme is theme of the summit, very important, theme of the summit, tech-enabled schools for rising India. So I would say tech-assisted schools for rising India. Technology should not be the primary focus. Technology should be the focus, that how it can be used to facilitate a teacher to convey what he is trying to do, and to give the student a real-time experience through use of that technology, because sometimes infrastructure and physical restrictions are there, but technology fills that gap. For many years, our system was largely exam-driven. Marks mattered more than meaning, and memory often mattered more than mindset. At Education Board, we have consciously begun to shift from exam-centric education to learner-centric education, from rote learning to real learning, and from information delivery to capability building. Every reform we have undertaken is guided by one simple belief: education must prepare the student for life, not just for examination. In that direction, we chose mother tongue Punjabi to be as one of our agents, to give confidence to the children, because in mother tongue, you can be so much expressive, which other language will not make you that expressive. You'll have to work hard to use another language. But when you use your mother language, your communication becomes at a different level. So in that, we organized the 3rd International Punjabi Olympiad. The previous participation was just 9,000, but this year, the participation was 2,25,000 students all across the state, as well as from other states. There were around 9,000 students participating from other states and internationally also. This is just not a competition. Language also unites. Like, there was a student from a CBSE school who is from Jammu Kashmir, who has stood first in one of the categories. So it brings down barriers. And inclusive education strengthens national integration also. Punjabi was not treated merely as a subject, but as an intellectual and a cultural bridge. Then the most important thing which we introduced in 11th and 12th classes was entrepreneurship education. The world our children are entering in is changing rapidly. Education totally cannot end with employment alone. That's why Education Board recently introduced entrepreneurship as a subject at the senior secondary level. This initiative aims to develop entrepreneurial thinking, build financial literacy, encourage innovation and problem solving, promote self-reliance and dignity of work. We want our student to ask not only which job will I get, but also what value I can create and how many other people I can employ. This is how education supports future of our country. We are also happy to share that we have established Punjab Park Center, which is working in assessments which will define the student values. If exams reward memorization, students memorize. If exams reward thinking, students learn to think. Through the Punjab Park Center, we are reforming assessment to focus on competency-based evaluation, conceptual understanding, application, and critical thinking. Teachers are being trained so that assessment supports learning rather than create fear. Assessment is no longer an endpoint. It is becoming a tool of improvement. The another initiative which the board has taken is to introduce career guidance labs as a pilot in 25 schools. With the help of AI, the career counseling labs are helping, showing students the new horizons, new careers they can choose. On the AI side, a lot of people are today around the world are talking about AI. So first of all, we should know and feel that AI is nothing new. Intelligence has existed all the time. Air is more intelligent even what we can think. It is to feel. So artificial intelligence is when man thinks that he has created an intelligence. No, it is already there. You have just put it into a package. So artificial intelligence is nothing but the way you will use it. The pilot is more important than the aircraft. Aircraft is the technology. The pilot knows how to use it, how to fly it. So similar for a car. Car may be of 2 crores, but it's the driver who will give you the comfort when he drives. It is not the car. Car is important, but the driver is more important. So how you use AI is the critical point. So in Education Board, we are working on a curriculum, which we will shortly, maybe in coming time, very shortly share and hold a big event on that. That how we can create AI creators who can make AI-based products. Today, we have already started a pilot in Punjab schools. About 1,000 students are being trained to how to use the AI products which are available. So basically, the concept would be to create thinkers and create AI-based products so that they are not only fit for jobs based on AI, but they can go to the companies to say that, okay, we know how to create. Teachers are our core focus. We are giving importance to teachers, giving them strength through reform in how they are supposed to prepare their lessons. We are assisting them with a lot of career counseling trainings also. We have recently tied up with IIT Madras to train our teachers for career counseling of the children. And in the conclusion, I would like to say that education integrates knowledge, skills, and values and makes a person a happy person, a courageous person to face this world where he has come to experience and learn how to evolve. Thank you very much.
Respected dignitaries, education leaders, and participants in the summit, most of the educational reforms which has been done by Punjab School Education Board has already been explained by Chairman Saab, so I would not expand more on that. I was also about to share the same facts. So I will slightly deviate from that, and I would like to give your inputs as to what Punjab is doing right now in terms of in its journey in educational reforms, which is aligned with National Education Policy 2020. Our educational reforms are centered on key 4 pillars. And right now, since the main topic is about technology, I would say in future and in the coming years and now, technology, when it is blended with school education, would be again centered on these 4 pillars. Number 1 is competency-based education. Number 2 is digital and blended learning. Kindly focus on the word blended learning. I would again come back to that. And the third one is continuous teacher professional development. And the fourth is data-driven system enhancement and support. So when I come to the first topic, competency-based learning, as Sir had already told about rote learning, since my times, we have all been into mugging stuff, 99 out of 100. Whether you understand the concept or not, rank, number 1 rank, and what is your score out of 1,000? Is it, if you are 999 or something, you're considered to be a smart student, intelligent student. We know the reality that once we clear that, our examinations considered as the star student, and we come out and when we face a society and get into different education streams, different jobs, we get to know that the backbenchers are actually in the topmost pyramid of innovators, being the people. They are also policymakers. You would see many administrative service people in the government of India and the government of, in the state government, who are in different sectors of administration. They might not be the top rankers. The innovators, the scientists might not be the top rankers. So it means that right from the pre-primary stage till 12th, this model has been established by the British government. We know that. We are following it. And it's been followed over the years. Of course, we have divided into different types of education, CBSE, international syllabuses, and school education of a particular state, boards of the state. But we know the reality is mostly it is towards mark system and rote learning. Now, with changing times, the state governments, of course, all over India, the states are trying to shift from rote learning methods and are focused on competency-based. So for every level, right from the pre-primary stage till 12th standard, the school education departments, of course, along with the stakeholders, society, and the policymakers with public-private partnerships, we are trying a level best to enhance the capacity at every grade level. So since I'm right now our project, I'm the project director of World Bank POISE project of state of Punjab. It is still in its initial stage. Our loan has been sanctioned, but we are yet to sign the agreement. But the vision of the project and the project's key focus is on these 4 pillars that I have spoken about. Right now, Punjab, through its Mission Samrit program, which you would have heard about, focuses on grade 3 to grade 8 students. This is very simple. We have shifted from the rote learning method, and every child is identified as to what is their competency. To make it in simpler, I'll give a simple language for that. If a third standard child has a basic foundational skill for a third standard, it could be plus, addition, minus, subtraction, we are able to see that the child is not able to do it, and they are categorized into different groups as below basic, basic, proficient, and we are training them specifically looking at the learning level of the child. And this is one of the best remedial measures to ensure that every child, when they shift from one class to the next class, are able to understand the foundational skills and competencies that is expected from them. Now, when we think in this way, when we move from the school readiness to the primary stage and then to the secondary, higher secondary, and then to the college education or vocational education, and then to your jobs, we should see that as it's a very simple, again, I'll simplify it. People who are right now working as engineers, they're all working in IT jobs. Most of the engineering fields, when the companies are hiring them, they're saying they don't know even the basic foundational calculations, foundational concepts. So the base comes to whether you're clear in your foundation. And foundation cannot be established suddenly at 11th standard or 12th standard. You cannot understand the foundational concept of if I multiply this with this, why this number is coming. So the basic stage is right from pre-primary stage. So school readiness of a child to enter into the primary stage is being analyzed, and all are done by technology. Punjab is focusing on data-driven management systems wherein all the decisions which are made in the school education department is based on the data that we collect under this Mission Samrit program at every grade level. So now the gaps are being tried to be bridged so that they enter every stage with the skills that are required for that stage. Now the next we move to the digital and blended learning. Why did I say blended learning? AI should be there. Digital developments, robotics, your Atal tinkering labs, all innovations, all the technologies, coding, everything should be integrated, of course, but a child should be confident enough to face the society, have human to human interaction, sit in a school and have the social skills to communicate with confidence. So when we use blended learning, a teacher and the child's interaction is basically around I would say 1/3 of their lifetime in a day they spend with a teacher and a small society called classroom. Even jitna bhi hum technology push karte hain, we should also ensure that when they come out of the school and when they come inside the society, they should be able to face and know, they have to know to face the world, and they should be confident enough to interact with the humans. And they should also be confident enough to learn these foundational skills to understand how a technology works. Just because I teach an AI or a technology related aspect or tool to a child, and the child knows that, yes, I know ChatGPT, yes, I know if I put this question, I'll get this answer, yes, it does analysis for me, that is not as expected out of a child. What we expect is for a child to understand how ChatGPT works. Hope this is very clear. Otherwise, we would be, the mission is half accomplished. The intent is to make them extremely skilled, make them tell that, yes, I know this technology, but the intent is not that. Outcome is their brain should be developed in such a way that they are able to understand how any technology works and how it can be applied in their future. Now I'm shifting to the third part, which is the continuous teacher professional enhancement. Children को technology सिखाएंगे करके we can't move forward. Punjab government has focused on enhancing the pre-service training curriculum and also the service curriculum of the government teachers of state of Punjab. For a child to understand what a technology is or what a foundational skill is, first this teacher should be equipped. They should know the advanced or proficient training instruction materials which are used not only in India but also world over. They have given, government of Punjab has given the opportunity, and people have gone, the student leaders and the teachers have gone to different countries like Finland and Singapore, and they are learning the learning models that are applied there. For example, I would just like to say the exposure that government of Punjab has given to the teachers. Once Education Minister Saab of Punjab had explained this to us. This happened that one of the teachers had gone to Finland, and they are par excellence in terms of managing children in special education. They are different. Some teacher used the word they are different, or they are different. But Finland's teaching system itself is in that way, it's modeled in such a way that they don't even look at children with special needs as a different child. They are considered as a part of the system itself. They are considered to be normal. Someone used the word abnormal from our end because we are not trained in that way. It's not the gap which is there in the person as such. The society looks it in that way. But the education system does not even look at special educators and special children with special needs in a different way. They had a big learning from that, and they came back with that. Now, every teacher who has got that exposure will never think that education system for a special needs child is very difficult or different. It is the duty of us to adapt as per the needs of the child. Again, since I'm talking about special education, we have a long way to go in use of technology for children with special needs also. That also should be our focus, and that is a part of the inclusive education. The fourth point is data-driven decision making, which is the MIS system which we are using, and all our decisions has been taken based on that only, which I've already explained. Like Chairman Sir has already told, there is a business blaster scheme called entrepreneurship scheme. I got the opportunity to be a part of the conclave which happened in IIT Roped, where government school children were able to project their ideas and even do their business, showcase their business models, and lakhs of investors invested in the ideas and the business models that were projected by government school children. What we could see is when platforms like that are given, they were able to develop technology and apps on their own with just the seed money that was given to them of 2,000 rupees. So we have a long way to go. I would not like to take most of the time, but I would thank Economic Times for giving me this opportunity to share how Punjab has grown over the years and still trying to learn. And thank you so much for all the stakeholders for giving the inputs, and we would like to learn, and we would like to integrate with each and every one of you who would provide opportunity for Government of Punjab to integrate with you for the development of school education of Punjab. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm really happy to be here, and being a pass out of government education system throughout, being the alumnus of Rao Mavi, Rajkiya Uच्च Madhyamik Vidyalaya, no one understands quality education better than me. The second part is, as administrator, we see the quality side from that perspective. I was managing director of Milkfed, that is Verka, and I interviewed around 40 dairy engineers, and I was just 1.5 years in my job. And it was really sorry state of affairs that their knowledge of technical terms was less than me after 4 years of dairy engineering. And this is not the story of those 40 students. This is the story of all of us. Let me tell you that the schools, the teachers, you lay the foundation for the building, whether that building is of a technocrat or a bureaucrat or a teacher or anybody. Please encourage what and how of education. Nobody is asking question why, how. It is just garbage in and garbage out. Please focus on quality of education. You know, we must ask some tough questions. The best flag bearer of Indian education system are IITians. Okay? I'm fortunate enough that many of my colleagues are from IIT and IS. I'm not. But how many original researches has come out of our IITs in last 75 years? Let's talk about top 5 business houses of India. How many original patents they have filed vis-a-vis the Chinese, European or American countries? What about the top 5 unicorns of the country, which boast of tech and everything? Where do they stand vis-a-vis the tech and originality of idea? We don't ask these questions. We produce CEOs, but we don't produce the Musks and the Jobs and, Gates of the world. The Western world, the original thinkers, they move up the value chain and we master that next level, the tier below them, and we scale it up and we call ourselves successful. We are successful. But if we want to lead the world, then we have to think original and we must ask questions. So please tell your teachers, tell your students, whatever capacity you are in, that learning should be encouraged, not the outcomes. And in our education system, it is more about, when we write IAS exams, it is one of the toughest exams. Somebody scores high and gets into IAS, but that's not the success story. The another exam begins and there comes the another problem, because you can be here with your one arithmetic ability or one set of ability, but that is not all. Your IQ is not confined to it. It is added up with the common sense, with EQ, with SQ, and then few of us fail miserably. So please lay a strong foundation for a strong India. As far as Punjab goes, my colleagues have briefed quite a lot about the education system. Let me tell you that with 83% of education and more than 10% of Punjab budget being spent on education, we lay a strong focus and priority on the education sector. If you see Punjab, it is one of the best state in the country in terms of all the tiers, boxes of education systems are ticked. We have top-notch research institutions of the country in Punjab, in Mohali. We have IITs, we have ISB, we have AIMS, we have IIMs. We have traditionally strong agriculture universities. We have engineering colleges. A big base for school education, and Government of Punjab is focusing on quality of education. Teachers are being trained abroad. Punjab is the first state which has started entrepreneurship program in schools and colleges. Skill set is being given to the students in Polytechnic. We from the industry department and Invest Punjab trying really, really hard to make our students employable. The problem is in our system is that we graduate from this college, but we are not employable, because again, the learning and the skill set is not there. So we are working hard, and as far as the education investment system goes, I invite all of you to visit Mohali. It is the best place to set up any sort of education institutions in the country, particularly in the North India. We are the catchment for J&K, Himachal, Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana. It is ideal place to do set up education institutions where you can give the quality global education at a local price with local inputs. Government of Punjab, we have created, let me tell you at the cost of being boastful, the one of the best model of ease of doing business in the country. No state comes close to us. Once you do business, you set up institutions, you will realize that how robust our system is. We don't encourage you people to walk in our offices. We run the true single window, the only single window of this country, where everything is online, deemed, the discretion and discrepancies are removed, and we encourage you to interact with one person in our office, and one person solves every problem of yours. We value your time and money. There are a lot of land parcels are coming for the auction by the Greater Mohali Development Authority. The prices are reduced, and there is a two-part bidding system where you can go for a very transparent bidding process. So I invite all of you to visit Mohali or any part of Punjab, set up your quality education institution there, and we at Invest Punjab promise you that with one person contact, everything which is related to establishment of that institution will be facilitated without any sort of hurdle which you have in mind based on your historical learnings. So thank you very much, Economic Times. Thank you, everyone. And let's hope that together we create an ecosystem where the quality is valued more than quantity. And I invite all of you for Invest Punjab Summit, which is going to happen in March 13 to 15 March at Plaksha University. We are going to have a plenary session for academia and research. So please join us there, and we will continue to engage all of you at different platforms. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. It's so difficult to come after such insightful speeches, and it's been very inspiring for me to hear you all. So let me begin by just thanking the Economic Times for the kind invite today. It's really a great pleasure to be here with you all as distinguished guests, educators, government leaders, and partners in progress. So today we'll be talking about education and technology from a UK-India perspective. As you know, the UK has been a long-standing partner in India's education journey. Our collaboration today is stronger than ever. You might have heard about the India-UK Vision 2035, which is an ambitious roadmap agreed by both prime ministers that places education, technology, innovation, and people-to-people ties at the heart of our shared future. So what this framework does is to commit both nations to expand transnational education, support research partnerships, and strengthen skills ecosystem, ensuring that technology benefits every learner, not just a privileged few. And this resonates with some of the comments made by speakers earlier on. So today, I've been asked to share practical elements of the UK school education systems and its use of technology that continues to shape learning outcomes across our four nations, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So in the UK, technology is deeply embedded in the curriculum across all four nations. While education is devolved, all share a common goal, ensuring every child develops digital capability from early years to secondary school. So across the UK, we emphasize digital literacy from early year onwards, computational thinking and coding taught progressively, responsible technology use, including online safety and digital citizenship, and technology aligned with national skills framework. So this mirrors the ambitions of India-UK Vision 2035, which places education and technology as flagship pillars, recognizing that young people must be equipped with future-ready skills to thrive in an interconnected world. So to give you a flavor of how this looks in practice, in England, England mandates computing from age 5. So young learners explore algorithms, e-safety, and block coding, progressing to programming, networks, robotics, and AI ethics in secondary years. In Scotland, we've got digital literacy, engineering, CAD, and electronics within technologies area from age 3 to 18. Whilst in Wales, we position digital competence as a core learning area, guiding pupils from content creation and safety to data analysis and computational thinking. All four nations hold to one principle. Technology strengthens learning when it nurtures creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. So the same values embedded in our bilateral flagship initiatives. But we still have digital inequalities. The UK's experience offers practical insights relevant for Vision 2047. We have strong infrastructure, widespread broadband, school-issued laptops and tablets, and near universal mobile phone access among adolescents. But challenges remain. Gaps in device availability and connectivity for lower income families, gender disparities, with girls in some communities receiving less encouragement or access, rural-urban divides, online harms such as bullying, stalking, and polarization. During the pandemic, these inequalities became stark. Some learners had no device or shared a single device among multiple children. Data shows that women and girls are significantly more likely to face digital exclusion. Vision 2035 recognizes exactly this challenge, that transformative technology must be inclusive technology, supported by policy, safeguarding, and investment. One of our strongest responses to digital inequality was the creation of Oak National Academy, which is a government-backed platform providing high-quality online learning for students and teachers. It basically offers free lessons from early years through secondary, high-quality video lessons, quizzes, and digital resources, but also support that reduces teachers' workload and ensures consistency across contexts. So what about AI? So AI, as you know, is already reshaping classrooms, and its potential is enormous. It means faster, more efficient lesson planning, personalized learning pathways, adaptive assessment, but also lighter administrative burden on teachers. As you know, AI also carries risks. It can mean academic dishonesty through AI-generated work, inconsistent adoption across schools, unvetted online content influencing inexperienced teachers. The UK government has acted proactively, issuing national guidance emphasizing transparency in AI use, protection of student data, but also banning automated grading where fairness is at risk. So this aligns closely with the joint ambitions under the India-UK Technology Security Initiative, a flagship component of Vision 2035, which aims to advance safe, trusted, human-centered AI across both countries. Our principle remains clear. AI should empower teachers, not replace them. So just as closing, one of the UK's special strengths is fostering global mindset through international collaboration. Through the British Council and UK-India flagship programs, we support partnerships that help students build confidence, curiosity, and intercultural skills. You might be aware of this. Examples include Formula One in schools, a UK-India global STEM collaboration where teams design miniature racing cars, learning coding, aerodynamics, and teamwork. We also have virtual reading partnerships where children build literacy and empathy while learning about each other's cultures, and climate and SDG collaboration, linking classrooms in India, Zambia, Jamaica, and the UK. So as India moves towards Vision 2047, its ambition to build an inclusive, technology-enabled school system is bold and visionary. The UK is proud to be a partner on this journey, guided by, as mentioned, the India-UK Vision 2035, which commits both countries to deeper collaboration in education, technology, innovation, and human development. Technology is not just a tool. It's a bridge to inclusion, innovation, and global collaboration. But it must be a bridge that is safe, ethical, and accessible to every learner. Because at the heart of education remain human relationships, the teacher's guidance, the child's curiosity, and the communities that nurture both. So let us continue to learn from each other, innovate together, and ensure that every child in both our countries is prepared for the world they will shape. So thank you, and I wish you all an inspiring day ahead.